released a rather very interesting insight report that tells you exactly how much the Indiana Fever's social media engagements are actually monetarily worth, either on X or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, whatever.
Okay, listen to this. The Indiana Fever social media presence just got a jaw-dropping valuation of $55 million. And here's the kicker. No other team even comes close. Forbes just dropped this report, and honestly, it's leaving a lot of people scrambling. Excuses because numbers like these don't lie. While fans have been debating endlessly over who really drives the WNBA, the data has spoken, and it didn't pull any punches. This Forbes report basically detonated every single argument that longtime WNBA skeptics have been clinging to for months. Yes, you heard that right. The Indiana Fever social media is now valued at $55 million. And no, that's not a typo, and it's definitely not hype. This is what happens when a team drafts a player who can move the needle in ways league has never seen before. All right, before anyone jumps in saying this is unfair to other players, or that we should just celebrate everyone equally, let's get one thing straight. We're not talking opinions. Here, we're talking about hard, undeniable numbers. This isn't a hot take or a biased claim. It comes straight from solid research. STN Digital and Zoom Analytics analyzed over 20,000 pieces of content across Instagram, X, Facebook, and YouTube for the entire season. They measured everything: impressions, engagement, and even the advertising value it would take to generate that kind of exposure through paid campaigns. And the result, the Fever absolutely dominated, crushing everyone else by a margin so huge. It's honestly kind of embarrassing for the rest of the league. Coming in at second place, the Dallas Wings hit $8.61 million. Let that number sink in for a moment. The gap between first and second, over $46 million, that's not just a lead, that's a total blowout. At this point, it almost feels like the Fever are playing an entirely different game. Not just ahead, they're in a league of their own, hitting numbers nobody else even comes close to. The Wings had an amazing year too, with engagement up 55% and their social value climbing 34%. But even that impressive growth barely made a dent compared to the Fever's dominance. Third place went to the Las Vegas Aces at $764 million, which makes sense. They're the dynasty team, loaded with star power and multiple championships. Fourth was the New York Liberty at $7.5 million, also logical given they're in the biggest media market in the country. But here's where it gets really striking. Fifth place went to the Chicago Sky at $6.35 million. Remember all those debates about who was truly driving attention to the league? All the arguments over rookies, star impact, and cultural relevance. Well, the numbers just settled it, and the result wasn't even close. The Sky, even with a player supposedly as impactful as the Fever star, landed fifth. All season, the story was that two players were fueling WNBA growth and bringing in new fans. But the social media evaluations tell a much clearer story. A $48 to $69 million gap between the Fever and the Sky. This isn't minor. This isn't a rounding error. This is a whole other stratosphere of influence and engagement.